Good evening and welcome to another episode of God's Insight for the Soul. So we come together, Bridget and I had this beautiful insight that we wanted to gift insight to other people. We grew and grow so much by contributing. We thought, how can we do this and how can we do it big? And a couple of different reasons why we do this in a small group. One, because we want to give individual attention. And then the group aspect is because when we come together as a group like this, it enhances the energy. So, for example, if I say something to Laura, it will definitely be something that Kimberly needs to hear. But maybe it wasn't totally on Kimberly's radar. But as soon as she hears us giving it to Laura, she's like, yes, that's it. That's exactly what I needed to hear. And so the fact that we come together actually exponentially allows us to receive whatever insight each different person is getting. Bridget and I talk about how this is so meditative for us. When we meditate, we want to tap in, we want to hear what God has to say to us. But when we do it for you guys, we get this triple bonus, right? Because we get the insight, we get the connection, we get to give it to you guys. And then we record it and share it out to the world. So even more people get to come on and listen and go, oh my gosh, yes, what she just said to Kimberly, I needed to hear that. And so then the ripple effect is absolutely greater than what we could ever think or imagine. So we love coming together like this. And basically each person's going to either ask a question or give us a scenario of a situation that they want some insight in, or maybe they just want to pull a card or get some whatever insight we're getting. So we want to tailor it to each individual person. But if you are watching this, please allow yourself to be open to what does God have for me in what Bridget and Lori are saying to everyone, because that's how we all get to grow together. So I am Lori, and I've been doing this work for a few years now, and I don't think I'm ever not surprised at the amazing love that God has for us and the gifts that he wants to give us. So so it's so cool to be able to again just give those gifts to other people. And this is my cohort, Bridget.
Yes, I am Bridget, and I'm just ready to get started. So
Let's
thank
do
you
it.
all for being here. And I feel like Laura is going to start us off today. So super easy and gentle. If you have a question or a situation, or if you want us to tap into anything specific, or we can draw an angel card. You have many choices.
Uh, I feel like I've been working on a project for a really long time, and I just keep getting stalled, and so then I feel like I'm starting over, like I'm in this little river eddy where I'm moving forward. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I hit something and it shoots me back up river. So I'm not, and without getting into any specifics, if there's any insight on, am I not doing the right project? Am I, should I let it go? Or, what might be a block? And I'm not sure if that's the right kind of question to ask.
I think that's a great question to ask.
Okay.
And Laurie, if something popped for you, feel free, go right ahead.
I feel like what's coming up is really there's this beautiful blend between destiny, divine providence, I guess, and free will. And we're created with both. And if we teeter too much in the, well, it's all destiny and I can't control it, even if we don't realize it, then the unhealthy side of that is like victim energy, right? If, however, we're like, I want to manifest this, I'm the creator, I'm the unhealthiness of it is like narky AF, right? And so the blend between the two is the sweet spot. But sometimes we don't know when we're functioning in those unhealthy places, even from the perspective of like, yes, I want to do what God's will is, or I want to follow my universal path. I want to follow the breadcrumbs, and we don't even realize that we've teetered in that unhealthy space. So what really is coming up is the invitation for you to be bolder in what do you really want? Do you want this project? Like, does this make your heart fill with joy? Or is it something that you feel like you've been doing for so long and you don't want to give it up, and you feel like God had a calling on your life, and so you're trying to follow the calling, and where is that happy medium where you say, oh God, okay, God, like I don't know what I don't know, and I really want this. And then just start to play and get curious. But I feel like God wants you to know your heart, right? Sometimes people say, well, God wants to know what your true heart is. Bitch, God already knows what your true heart is, right? Like, it's not about him, it's about us. And so he wants you to know what's really going on in your heart, and what do you really want, and what sets Laura's soul on fire that would get her up every morning and like salivate with the thought of getting to do this thing. Yeah.
I love those words. The first thing that I felt like, Laura, when you were describing what was happening, I felt like in a river, how a river just flows and flows. And then when you said, and I feel like I'm getting stuck, and I went, ah, transitions can also, this time right now, we're in the fall, it is a very transitional period. So to question what we're doing can be a very natural and normal thing as well. But I love what Lori was saying, because I couldn't put words on it, but I kept feeling almost like there is an obligation to finishing the project. And that is what's almost like making it stuck, because now there's like, I've been doing this for so long. I have to at least finish it. And the invitation that I kept getting was, but it's okay to take a pause. I heard somebody describe it today as a green light, yellow light, red light that they get from the creator. And green light is that everything's charging on all cylinders and they're like, da, 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 da. And the red light is a very, very firm, like, halt, there's roadblocks in your way, you cannot move forward right now. And the yellow light is that, oh, stop. And I love how Lori said, what is in your, what is gonna light you up? And that pause is where I feel like you are. Maybe you never go back to this project. Maybe this is only a very small pause and then you return to it. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's 2 days. I don't know how long pauses are.
Right.
I don't know. But because then the other thing that came up was, in that pause, that's a great place to really allow yourself to open and ask, okay, God, I don't know what I don't know. Is this project what I'm supposed to continue doing? And if it is, those answers will come when we're open and in that pause. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Miss Kimberly.
Wow, that was good, and you're right. It was a good message for myself as well. That one, the sacred pause. A lot of transformation happens when we take that beat. I have to remind myself too, when you can't go forward, it's like just take a breath, take a beat, take a couple days, whatever, and it'll come back to you. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Which kind of leads to, I was on the fence if I should ask a question or just have you pull a card because I already put my intention and my question kind of out there. But is it really what my soul needs right now? So I'm going to ask you to just pull a card on it.
Okay. Would you like deck 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Okay.
The Trinity number.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I'm going to show you.
Okay. My glasses.
That's better. Okay, there's your
Okay,
picture.
beautiful. And it's purple. My favorite
Okay.
color.
Uh, exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. And the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising. And it becomes its own reward. This writing is so little. And when the white is on the purple, I'm like, is that what that says? Am I seeing that right? Okay. I'm going to read that again just because now that I know what it says. Okay, exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. And the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. I think that the biggest thing that comes from this, yes, physical movement, yes. However, it's how we think about something that makes it more powerful. So, for example, if you think the only way to exercise is to walk 5 miles, and so the point of the walking the 5 miles is to exercise, to do the thing, to
Did she pause?
not
Yeah.
aligned with frequency and intention. Oh, can
We
you guys hear
lost
me?
you for just a second.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we are not aligned with true motivation for the thing, it doesn't really matter what we do. So if for you, you're like, you know what? I am going to clean my trailer today. I am going to get on my hands and knees and I'm going to squeeze my stomach and I'm going to get in the deep corners like I've never got. And every time I do this, I'm going to think about my shoulder muscle, right? That's just as good of exercise as walking 5 miles, right? If you decide that you're going to go dancing and you say, this is my exercise for today, right? If you are vacuuming and you're like, I'm going to do it slow so that this is my movement for today, right? So it don't get so caught up in, I need a physical exercise regiment. So that's the literalness that I'm getting from the card. Now, the symbology that I'm getting from the card is no behavior for you. And again, let me just remind people, if you're on this call or if you are listening, you do not function like the average human functions. You have stepped into a state of consciousness that is beyond the norm. Okay. So some people, it doesn't really matter what they think or how they feel. If they do the behavior, they're going to get the results. You're not that lucky. Guess why? Because you have an evolved consciousness that actually cares about how you function and owning your power. Okay. So you don't get the luxury anymore of paying attention to your behavior or paying attention to your thoughts or even paying attention to your intentions. You've evolved to a place where you are either functioning from your power or from your disempowerment. Those are your only two choices anymore. And so when you recognize that and you think, oh, well, so-and-so told me to do this and this is going to be the result, you don't get to function like that anymore. You get to tap in and go, what's my motive for doing this behavior? What's my motive behind this thought? What's my motive behind this intention? Am I standing in my power, or am I feeling disempowered and I'm foregoing my power to whatever this thing is outside of me? And that's that deeper, like, exercising of the manifestation is actually exercising that empowerment.
Very good. That's interesting that you wrote that, or when you read that card the second time, I wrote down, do your cleaning projects more every day and dance more every morning. And that's what you said. Because I did that today. I started the day with cleaning, and then I was able to get through, at least set like a projection for the next 90 days of things that look like what looks like success for me for the next 90 days. And that clarity didn't come to me till after I spent the 2 hours doing the chores.
Preach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I am one who I cannot go to a gym and do all that. I'll get sick in a gym anyways, but that kind of disciplined behavior has never been my jam. I definitely have always been one that has to exercise non-traditionally.
Love it.
Mhm.
What do you
Beautiful.
got, Bridget? What do you got?
I love that. I love how the synergies of the energy speaks. And I can tell it's not Lori speaking, it's not me speaking, it's not right the collective energy, because that was the first thing that I got too. We're not talking about the physical, go lift a bunch of weights, and we're not talking about that at all. I wrote down, take a walk, gather rocks. Like,
Mm,
swim, but not like for the sake of swimming and I'm working out my muscles. Like, swim like play. It was very playful in your
mhm.
energy. Like, whatever it is that you're gonna do, enjoy. So then I love that you guys both threw in the chores and making that kind of, because that's something we have to do. Like, eventually you have to clean your toilet, right? Like,
Yeah.
but how that can be an opening process also. I love that. And so when you showed us the picture on the card, I was like, is that person carrying somebody? Is that like an angel carrying something? I couldn't quite make it out. But I think it's really cool how, as Lori was saying, when we exercise our intuition, that is also an exercise, and I kept seeing this light before we even pulled the card, when you were just like, do I pull a card, do I ask a question? I kept seeing this light like in your like sacral solar plex chakra. I kept seeing this light, and so I love that connection when we exercise our intuition, tapping in, getting that yes from creator, no from creator, that clarity that you talked about, getting up, that's exercising that light that is already there, is like coming forward. And the more you exercise it, the brighter it gets, and the more people who see it. Um and because then the second time I looked closer at the card, I was like, oh, that's clearly an angel walking. It wasn't somebody carrying you. And again, I think that ties into our
Mm,
intuition. It's not carrying you through the process, but you are. Yeah.
beautiful. Nice. Do you want to know what the question was now?
Sure.
The question was, what is my next best step to get a paying gig within the next 30 days?
I love it.
Yeah.
And really, what just pinged when you said it specifically, what Bridget just said, play as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That energy of play is what draws your clients specifically. Not everybody draws clients through play, but you do. Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank
queen.
you, Kimberly. All right, Miss Crystal.
All right, so good so far. Like, my first question aligned with Lara's. Second question aligned with Kimberly. So that's beautiful. But my third one, I wrote down energy of play, but then you said not everybody's going to bring more clients that way. So I'm like, ooh, what's going to help me bring more clients? To just all the other things are already building blocks to help me with what I need.
Mm-hmm. So is that where you want us to tap in, is what energy draws your clients?
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds great.
I feel like Bridget's supposed to go first, so we'll just
Give
wait
me one
patiently.
more second.
Yeah, no, take your time. That's what I love about this space is like
Mhm.
we're all just here being human and being ourselves and being authentic and vulnerable. And if we sit here for a few minutes, we sit here for a few minutes and we wait, because I would much rather wait 10 minutes and make sure that what I say is from God than to hurry up just to give somebody an answer.
Yeah, for sure. So there is is it behind you on the wall, is that it's a pattern that's right directly behind you.
Oh,
And
the candle thing, that.
uh-huh, the way your head and that come out, like from the very first moment that you came on, I was like, is that a hat? That's so cute. But this entire time, as we're going around everybody, I'm like, no, those are like thought patterns. Those are like little bubbles coming up, little things, like such a
Mm.
thinker, such a processor. I was like, oh, yeah, Crystal's got some big, like, do I do this? And I go over here and I do this and I go over here and I do this and I go over here. And that, like, that behind you is just, and I kept like sinking into that thinker piece of you. There's a creative writer in you also, is very much like you're very, but you're methodical is the word that's coming up. And I feel like that, because then what I wrote down was writing, and then I wrote, oh, that giggly Dr. Seuss kind of writing is where you need to be. Like that play on words, that exchange and playful, and and there's still something with the oh, I gotta do this and then I gotta do this, and there's something to that that maybe it is just like let yourself off the hook. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. I don't know what I don't know is such a great thing to say when I feel stuck. Like I don't, and so ask like, what do I do with this? Because I feel like there is some like, I gotta get this, I gotta figure this, I gotta figure this out because I'm struggling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that giggly Dr. Seuss writing is really coming up strong for me with you.
Perfect.
Yeah, I love how like there's no accidents about who shows up in this room together, because when Crystal, when you were like, oh, when you said attracting people through play, and then you said not everybody does, and I don't know, and you do, and it there's a little bit of a difference between playful like Kimberly and lighthearted playful, right? So she's a little bit more like childlike, giddy type playful, and you're a little bit more like lighthearted. And I get what Bridget's saying about like the Dr. Seuss type um understanding or whatever, or functioning, because I think that your like your emails, how you attract people, when you present yourself, because you are a doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am a doctor and I must be a doctor and I must be professional. But I think about, remember that movie Patch Adams?
Yeah.
That's really how I see you, because of the way that you heal, and you heal through so many different dimensions of modality, that you really do. When you bring in that Dr. Seuss, when you bring in that, it's almost like kind of a dry humor that you have, that you heal people through humor. You heal people
Mm-hmm.
through that lightheartedness, right? It's like so many people take their health so seriously, when you're like, fuck, it doesn't have to be like that, guys. Can we just have some fun? You're gonna feel better if you just have some fun. And I keep seeing you in this, guys, like, loosen up. Like, your tension is what's making you sick. Just let it all go. And it's very just playful and like this, but more lighthearted, playful
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
energy. And I do feel like, I think Bridget hit it on the spot when she said, like, you are trying to get it right in context of them, whoever them are. I want to make sure that them thinks that this is acceptable and presentable. And your clients, the clients that are like waiting at the door for your energy to shift, they're the ones that are like, fuck, just tell me I'm allowed to have fun and that's going to make me feel better. Like that, they're waiting for you to drop this them appropriate facade and just fully be this lighthearted. Guys, you are taking this whole physical experience so too much. Let's lighten up. And I love the paradigm that you have with like biblical understanding, because let's go back to the wisest person that ever walked the earth next to Jesus, and that was Solomon. And he wrote this whole book of Ecclesiastes, and he's like, guys, this whole shit doesn't mean nothing. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing really matters. So guess what? Guess how you should live your life? Eat, drink. Now, choose wisely, but eat,
Mm-hmm.
drink. and find pleasure, find joy in what you do with your life. It says in your labors, but really that's just the physical labors that we do, whether it be work or how we live our life or anything. All of that is included. And when you bring that energy, like, people are clawing behind the veil for you to be their doctor.
It's so good.
I'm
So
so excited.
it's like there's so much here. So I don't know if Bridget even knew I was a doctor. So when she said Dr. Seuss, I'm like, oh, she picked up on that one. So it's good. But so you know how you said a doctor's supposed to act a certain way? That's what I've been battling with, because I don't act a certain way in my office. I literally had a woman who had to lose weight. She goes, I'm not changing my diet. I said, then don't. But don't, and it was like that playful fun, or like, I'm not so strict. So when you told Kimberly, make exercise out of cleaning your trailer, I'm like, yeah, that's what it's about. If you don't have joy, don't do it, because then you're causing cortisol to go up and la, 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 la. So don't waste your time. Just go clean. If you love to clean, clean. You can come to my place too. I'll let you clean my place. We're all good on that. So, but no, everything you said, right. So it's giving myself permission to not be that traditional, professional, quote unquote. I don't want to say I'm not professional. I want to say that stigma. Like, I gotta look a certain way, I gotta act a certain way. Like, so it's giving myself permission to release that. So that's what I've been working on too. I'm not traditional. Lori knows that, but nobody else on this call knows. I'm nothing like traditional at all.
Yeah, there's still though a blockage in thinking you're supposed to be.
Yeah. How do I get rid of that?
Yeah, which still prevents the energy being that aroma for your clients to find you.
So how do I get rid of that? I can't just put a bomb in there. I want to and like blow that up, but I can't.
Yeah, and this is where, like, I would get really quiet and find like who do I need assistance from? Do I need to do some clearing? Do I need to do some bringing in? Do I need to have some Reiki done to me? Do I need to change something in my diet, right? The list is infinite, but it's specific to you, right? So praying and getting really still and quiet, like we told Laura, right? Take that pause, and sometimes we ask God the question, and then we start trying to answer it ourselves instead of realizing when we ask, it's because we don't have the answer, and we need to shut the fuck up long enough to hear what God's trying to tell us, right? And so really, I think it is take that pause and start asking, get really curious. And I think you'll find it's not going to be anything that you would ever come up with. So when things pop in your head and you're like, that's fucking weird, that's probably the thing you're supposed to do.
Okay. Well, I'm doing a parasite cleanse right now, so this will clear some stuff out. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love to, Lori, as Lori was talking, one of the things that kind of pinged, and it goes back to, again, what we talked with Laura about, was being bold. Being bold in our authenticity is who we are called to be. So find that.
well, the fact I got on this call was already the first step, because I'm like, this is going on YouTube. I got to get out of my comfort zone. Let's just go. Click. So that was already like, that was a big step for me right there.
I love that. And I love that you shared that, because that was the next step, is sharing with everybody that this is a vulnerable place for you to be, because from the outside, none of us probably would have guessed that. But the fact that you admitted it out loud actually heals that part of you that was actually not authentic to be able to, or whatever, like that would be easier next time. You guys know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it was first getting on the call, and then I healed in my heart. Then each woman went, and I was like, okay, this is good. And then my turn came. So you're like, you want this to be your question? I'm like, yeah, I did, because I didn't really know, but I'm like, okay, that's a great question. But I closed my eyes because I went into my heart. I'm safe. I'm okay. You're safe. I had to reassure my nervous system before I go spiraling. I'm safe. And then here we are now.
So good.
So good.
So good. This is, guys, this is how we heal. We tell people what we're afraid of. We tell people when we feel afraid. We tell people what our deepest fears and shames are. And that's how we heal, because anything brought to the light turns into light. And when you say, this is the thing I'm most afraid would get me rejected, and you have a room full of people that are like, hell yeah, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for supporting us while we support you. That heals the lie. Heck
I love
yeah,
it.
girl. I'm so glad you showed up today.
Me too. I'm glad you guys are doing, it's like all divine. Like I love all of it. It was all God. I was like, time to go, because no more wasting my life away. Just jump and go, and you'll be caught by God if you trust him. So I was like, all right, let's do this.
I love it.
Awesome. I love it.
I'm going to jump in and throw my 2 cents. Bridget, you adding that last little bit to be bolder. I wrote it down. In your authenticity is who we are called to be. That's part of my challenge. Is being brave enough to be bold and put myself out there. And my husband keeps telling me, you overthink, you try to make it so perfect, or this or that. And kind of like Lori was saying, the them, I'm worried about the them, the critics. And really it's simply just be bolder in your authenticity, Laura, period. That's it. Because I know that when I am me, which is the childish energy and joy and whatever, I'm very attractive to the right people. And those people, as you say, I don't want them clawing at the door, Lori, but I want them like, yes, there she is. So yeah, I do agree. Listening to everything you said to Kimberly and Crystal, I was like, yep, that's for me too. Yep, that's for me too. So this was fantastic. Thank you.
Love
Awesome.
it. So glad you guys came.
Absolutely. I have to add something too, because what Lori, when you were talking to Crystal and then she started talking as well, I wrote down, I do like spiritual writing apparently, because I wrote, do not give your image the throne, become authentically you.
So good.
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah.
I just like, this stuff just flows out of me. And then Bridget, you said almost the same thing about being authentic, and that authenticity became part of it. And I love when you get these, what are the synchronicities and the validations,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The validations.
It's almost like there's this universal power that's
Oh,
all intelligent and loves
right.
us so much. It's so weird.
Thank you, God.
Amen.
It's so cool.
No,
And
You
that
guys,
is the
oh,
beauty of doing these in small groups like this. Like Lori said at the beginning, this is for all of us. I gain from each one of you also. And so thank you. Thank you for being here, for showing up, for saying the words that you did, because I gained so much from it. And I know Lori does too. So thank you.
for sure.
I don't know how much time we have left, but I'm curious now, after we've all gone, if either Bridget or Lori pulled a card for tonight's experience.
Ooh, good idea.
Oh, I'm
Like a closing card
Yeah.
for
I
the
don't know
group.
if you ever do that, but that's what just popped into my head. It's like a collective, a card for the collective.
Bridget. You want to pick a stack?
Yeah. I want to pick 3.
All right. Sure. Pick the one that is the smallest card.
Well,
with the
I thought
smallest
maybe you had
writing.
changed the order.
Okay, here it is. Here it is. And they have this pastel so that I can't. Okay. Oh, okay, guys. Oh, let me show you the picture. Sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously, in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all dimensions of time. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously, in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in every, I think that was supposed to say, direction of time. But I like dimension of time too. I'm just throwing that one in there. So super like not normal what we typically do, but here's what I want to do. Because especially because Crystal was like, how do I do that? How do I let's just right now hold some space and just close your eyes, drop into your body and hold some space and allow anywhere that you have made a vow of poverty, let it make itself known now. If they're cords, if they're promises, if they were contracts or covens that you made at any time, in any lifetime, in any dimension, in any reality, let all of those come to the surface now. And now from this place of gratitude for whatever reason it's here, whatever reason you made it, whatever reason you tied the cord, for whatever reason that you thought that it was a great idea, show that vow of poverty your gratitude for whatever it provided you up to now. Love it, appreciate it, honor it, thank it, bless it. And now, let it go. And as it falls off of you, as it drifts away, as it fades, fill your heart with so much gratitude for what it provided for you, whatever value it provided for you while it was with you. Hold that and let that value fill your heart. And from this place of power, we choose to boldly be our authentic self, the beacon to attract whoever you came to this planet to serve. In exactly the way that you came to this planet to serve. Freely getting paid to be you in the unique way that you serve. Breathe that in, let it integrate, communicating to every cell in your body your new chosen frequency, the one of authenticity, the one of freedom, vulnerability, detachment, freedom to just be the magical, mystical, magnificent you. Good stuff, you guys. Good suggestion, Lara.
That was fun. Can I ask you the image? I couldn't see it really, but it almost looked like somebody dancing.
That's what it looks like to me too. She almost looks like peacockish.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
and I can just see the power and the grace and throwing off, right? Tossing the shackles, but at the same time, there's dance because there's flow and movement. So I saw that, and what I got from that was what you're saying earlier, make it fun and playful, right? It's not heavy. And then the way you just said, thank it, be so grateful. Like I just felt love and joy, which again is that playful, that fun. It's not heavy. It's not, and that image of like, yeah, let it go and flow and be in your power and colorful. And yeah, what a different way to think about releasing a vow of poverty. It's like, oh, we can do this with joy and fun and play and flow. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, you guys, thank you again for being here. If you are watching this and you're like, man, I want some of that for me, please, down in the description of this video is a link that is the calendar link for you to schedule your very own session here in this space. And we would love to have you. And so until then, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.